Yep.
All right, so let's take a look at these screenshots and talking about how your rideshare, your delivery, how some of the math may or may not actually add up, and some of the things that numbers can really be worked, and we're going to show you exactly how in just a few moments.
Yeah. All right. So this is my quest. This week's quest, 5 for 50. I did the 5 for 50 bucks. These are all the trips, okay? These are all the rideshare trips that I did, 5, okay? So I started the adventure at 429. Look, I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. It's good money. But I swear to God, Chris, Uber gave me every single long ride possible. Because I'm thinking I'm going to knock these 5 in about an hour and 10 minutes with my, destination filter. I started the first trip I accepted at 429. The last one was at 712, bro. They gave me every goddamn long trip. They wouldn't give me anything within a couple 3 miles, like all these trips that I wanted to do. The last one I wasn't going to take. I took it just for the fact that I got, goddamn, I got to finish because it's dinner time. I want to do a couple of Uber Eats deliveries. You know what I'm saying? So I go
That's
like,
why
okay.
you need to get rid of that area preference crap and go with Lyft's far superior stay within area filters. Then you can knock it down to 3 miles in a radius and you're good to go.
Yeah, by the way, I'm next to a college called CSUN, California State University, Northridge. There's like 60,000 students there. I'm right next to it. They would give me a trip to LAX. I'm like, for fuck's sake, bro. I mean, do you guys really know I'm going after the 50? Is that what it is? I mean, my measly little 50 bucks for you guys? But I guess it was. So the first trip, okay? So let's take a look at that. Let's analyze that. And then overall, we're going to look at numbers, how fuzzy Uber's $37 is. You know what I'm saying? So each trip, I'll just go quickly and extrapolate into a. So Uber, what was Uber's last claim? $37 an hour? Is that what it was?
Yeah, 37 per utilized hour.
Per utilized hour. Okay, let's do that. Let's play the game. Let's play the game of utilization hour.
Other promotions.
With promotions and tips.
Yep.
Let's just talk about that. So Jeff, if you're here, I applied some of your strategies to get tips. 2 out of my 5 short trips tipped me, which is record for me. That's 40%. That never had happened. So follow Jeff, read his articles. He's on RSG Contributor now, and we just had a video with him. It's going to come out soon. That man is the tip king of the country. He gets 45% tips, bro. 4.5 out of 10 trips, he get tips. I'm like, holy shit. Nice. So this first trip, okay, 3.6 miles, 11 or 12 minutes, let's say. $10.85. Wonderful, right? Because if you take that 11 minutes or 12 minutes, there's 12 minutes in an hour, $11 times 5. My active hour for that trip, if I could duplicate that 5 more times in 1 hour, would be $60, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Except that the next trip did not come in until 5:33 p.m. So what happened? What happened to that 45 or 48 minutes that I was doing nothing except declining long trip after long trip, right?
That's called a really bad utilization rate.
Yeah, that's horrible, right? So I was like, okay, Uber, so where's that 37? I didn't see that 37 there. But then Uber on that hour can say $60 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Because active time, $60 active time right there. So the next trip comes in. 4.5 miles, $6. Price went up a little bit because I had to wait. 11 minutes and 16 seconds. Now, this is the trip duration, people. This does not include on my way to the passenger, right? So, but let's play their game. So this trip, it was 11 minutes. I know there is 11 minutes in 1 hour. Okay? Yes, it took me 2.5 hours to do 5 trips, bro. He's laughing. So if I took this and extrapolated to an hour, right? My active hour dollars would have been 36, exactly what they said, 37, right? Except the next one did not come in until 6:04. So I'm like, how is this math correct? What kind of fuzzy bullshit math is this? Because if I'm doing one trip every half hour, how's my active hour? And my active hour is 36, 37, sometimes on the first one, 60. But if you if you look at the other way, I'm just fucking dying out there, man. Right?
Well, if you're trying to do short trips, yeah, because you're denying all the
Well, I
longer
have
trips
to.
that are coming in at this time. So the question I have for you is, how many trips did you decline versus the ones that you accepted?
60.
So you took 8 trips out of this. What
Overall, I
was
declined. My acceptance rate absolutely tailspin to earth and crashed. I I
well, what's the
probably
percentage then?
yeah. I'm at like 8% now.
Oh, there you go. So for the people who are out there and they're like, why did you only take it for every half hour or so? That's why, he was trying to do something on a particular way.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're gonna move on though a little bit to the next screen here.
All right, next
Um,
screen. So and then
so
I finished, luckily, thankfully. And then now if I'm a cherry picker when it comes to rideshare, I am a USDA 5-star cherry picker when it comes to delivery. Okay, so then I came in and squeezed 2 deliveries, right? I mean, look. And then I had dinner in between, by the way. And then I did the last delivery. Literally, I had like the dinner for 2 hours with John, actually. And then they gave me a trip paid for the dinner. But the long story short, look at the mileages and then the money on those 2 trips. The top one, let's take 1.2 miles. Took me less than 15 minutes to pick up the food and deliver the food. Uber paid me a whole $3 on that, Chris. Base rate,
woo,
$3.
woo,
Now, without that, I'm gonna get Shishars done for us. I said I work for tips because that's what delivery is these days, right?
and it
So if it
shouldn't be.
wasn't for that tip, bro, where would I be, right? Holy crap. So my article is coming out next week, by the way, on who made more money, Uber, me doing Uber Eats. You guys will be surprised. But anyway, so I squeezed 2 tips. I mean, 2 food delivery trips, both nice. I mean, if you look at the dollars per mile and extrapolate that to Uber language, active time, that's like $50 right there. So let's go. So this is my day, Saturday. Okay. I made $120.50, which includes my $50 promotion, all the tips. Okay.
Which was
Now,
27.75 total.
yes. So if you look at it on face value, according to Uber language lingo, per active time, if you took $120.50 and divided it by 2.5, I even beat their 37, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those who are watching, on the right screen, you can see the breakdown. For those who are listening, we'll break down the numbers exactly for you.
You
But
do,
this is
yeah,
where active time or utilized time and actual online time differ very much. Now, obviously, you were trying to do something specific, so your utilization rate is much lower than what it may normally be, because you're just trying to get the shorty rides and trying
yeah.
to game the system a little bit differently. I might look at it a little bit differently if I'm out on the road. I would probably look at changing a couple of things up just to try to not only get as shorty as I could, but also try to finish it as quick as I could.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
so
yeah, but you did a great job, by the way. So Chris broke this number down. So you guys can take a screenshot and understand how fuzzy Uber's math is. Because when
yeah,
and Lyft too, by the way, hey Lyft, you're not catching a break today either, just because we're bashing Uber today. Your numbers are the same bullshit one. What do they call their hours? Utilized hour? Is that what they call it?
yeah,
Uber calls it active hour. So this is what I want you guys to do next time you guys are out there. All I know is my app was on 5.5 hours. If you take $120.50 with all the incentives and all the tips and divide it by 5.5, and that comes down to $21.91 an hour gross. I did not make $120.50. I grossed $120.50.
yep. Still got to take in all your counts or all your costs. But
Yes.
then, one of the things besides breaking this down, so you could see if you did the active time, he did well, 48.20 an hour for his online time for being 5.5 hours. That broke it down to 21.91 an hour, and that included the 27.75 for tips, and that included the bonus for 5 trips with $50.
Right.
If you took that out, look at this. So without tips or bonus, because they're not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So if you remove the tips you only made $92.75. And again, tips are not included. So tips should never, ever be worked for as part of your pay. Shouldn't.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
becoming that way, and it really
No,
shouldn't. But
no, because
if
there's
you remove
variable. And on Uber Eats, by the way, they can tip bait you. They can take their tip away after an hour. You deliver the damn what they ate. They shit the food, and they can take the tip away. I'm like, what kind of bullshit is that? So
yeah,
whoever does Uber Eats, I mean, we gotta work on this Uber.
yeah. But
So
then
what I'm trying to
beyond
say,
that, removing hold on, beyond that, removing that $50
yeah,
for those 8 trips for the 2 hours and 29 minutes of active time or the 5.5 hours, you really only actually made $42.75 on your base rates, your base pays,
grossed.
on your
Yeah,
on gross.
yeah,
This isn't your net.
yeah,
And then so if you take those at 42.75 and you broke it down by the active time, that's 17.10 an hour. But if
yep,
you did it by your online time, it's only 7.77 an hour.
yeah.
So you can
That's
see
why.
how right here I was
Yeah,
able to change a lot of different things here and
yep,
show a lot of different hourly rates
yep,
depending on how you're looking at it. Now,
yep.
if you added the $50 incentive, because a lot of the times if you're going out, you're going to be working for an incentive or a promotion. You want to try to get that. If you get that, that can be added in. But again, I don't like looking at tips because tips should be a bonus. They should be extra. They should not be calculated into a fare or a delivery in any way, shape, or form. So
Yep.
with that $50 incentive, you take that 92.75 divided by that 2.5 hour active time. There you go. There's your 37 an hour,
There
right
you
on the
go,
money.
buddy. See how they came up with that? See.
Yep.
But look at all
But
this math you did, right? Okay, Chris did an
the
amazing job with
online
all these
time
numbers.
brought it to
Yeah,
16.86 an hour.
yeah.
So
I
this is why, like
eh,
this is why last week when we said the one thing that Minneapolis, because they're looking at putting driver protections into place there,
yep,
this is something that they really need to look at.
yep.
And this is kind of like what the breakdown of it actually looks like. So when they say 37 active or utilized time, it is not the same as online time because it's
Nope.
going to depend on your utilization rate, which means what if you're or how much did you spend actually active versus online? That's how you're going to
And
find out your
you
utilization.
know what the funny thing is, Chris? You know what the funny thing is? I don't think outside California, because we have Prop 22 here, and New York City, I think, and Washington State. I don't think Uber shows that separation of online time versus active time on the driver app. I think they just saw online time, right?
Hmm.
Right? Majority of the country, they go online time. But when they come to quote driver earnings, they quote on active time.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? That's bullshit. If I've
Hmm.
ever seen bullshit. So why don't you guys do what you do in California? Put online time on one side, active time on the other side. Then we can all figure this out. Certainly, drivers are not making $37 an hour nationwide on online
No.
time. Certainly not. And We
And
Zoom
again,
says, go flip burgers. We Zoom, I'm gonna pay you back on that one. I'm doing this for you
hey,
guys
hey,
for research purposes. You anyway. So
well, here's the thing. If you didn't go for that incentive,
mhm.
and you only made $42, yeah, it would be
Flip
more
burger
to, or
time.
you'd be paid more to flip burgers, than you would be to actually be doing this.
You
So,
betcha.
uh,
You betcha.
now yeah, I got to double check on mine because I think mine actually does show both, but
Okay.
I know what you're talking
Well,
about. There are many places that only show online time versus breaking it down.
you can manipulate numbers any way you like, okay?
Hmm.
But if you're just going to advertise, oh, drivers make $37 an hour nationwide, active time, and then when they say that in a public space or an interview, the idiot journalist that's doing the interview have no idea what that means, and then they
Yep.
just put that out there. They just put that
And the
out
same thing with any council members that are looking at different laws. So anybody who's watching, if you're in these areas where they're having like Minneapolis, Chicago, other areas, you can go and put this in front of your council members so we can explain exactly how they came to that. And then, you can kind of break down the numbers to show, well, this is one way they mean it, and they're trying to skew the numbers to make it much greater than what it actually could potentially be. And as more drivers go on the platform, as more drivers are on, you're going to have a larger supply with a lower demand, which means you're going to be sitting there even longer without a ride. So your utilization rate is going to drop, and they're still going to say, oh, well, your active time, you're making 37. Yeah, sure. But if I'm sitting there 45 minutes on the hour in, unutilized time, well, how much am I really making when
FYI, my Uber X, Uber, I didn't have shared because I'm never going to do those. Uber X, Comfort. Well, first one was Comfort. Uber Eats and Uber Connect was all on. And I also discovered something new. When I have Uber X on or RideShare and Uber Eats, I didn't get one goddamn Uber Eats order, bro. And then when I turn Uber X off and put only Uber Eats on, boom, one after the other Uber Eats. So when you have both on, don't expect any Uber Eats orders. They're going to keep sending you garbage RideShare orders. Okay, there you go.
I have on mine, I turned everything off except for XL right now. But that's something that's going on. So we'll talk about that down the road. But when it comes down to it, I have Uber Eats just in case I do ever want to try it. But
I like it.
I was so turned off after the initial time that I did it that I'm like, I just don't. I'll have it there just as if I'm sitting there and I'm like, screw it, I'll take it. But that usually finds its way unchecked most of the time. The thing that really pisses me off though is like when I go on vacation or take like some time off and don't drive, then they're like, oh well, now that you're back, we're gonna check that. And then all of a sudden you turn the app on, you get an Uber Eats order. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. Turn off. It's like, really, come on.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to this. I don't know what these screenshots
were. This is one thing I discovered by doing RideShare, and they changed it again. So now there's a timer on the first trip. By the way, on the first trip, that it was a Comfort, which I wanted to do. And the guy tipped, and I missed this screenshot on that, Chris. It came as a top tipper. That warning on the bottom, top tipper rider, right? And the guy tipped. So there may be some truth on that top tipper rider when you get that ping, right?
William, I started that. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay, so I went to this guy, to the exact pin that he dumped in the app. I wait. So the 2 minutes went up, and then the clock started to ticking, right? So I'm getting paid wait time. I'm like, great. Well, 5 minutes came up. Guess what? The X did not show up. There's no more automatic cancellation on RideShare. So I'm going like, what kind of bullshit is that? I want to cancel this trip. I'm not going to wait for this guy. Right when I said that, the guy calls. He goes, where are you? I go, sir, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. The guy goes, I'm not there. I'm going like, is he playing games with me now? Because a lot of, passengers have learned the game to game the driver, because they'll be out of a surge area, but they will order the trip. They will be in a surge area, but they will put an address on the out of the surge area, so it's cheaper, and then driver will go there, right? And then they'll call them up, say, oh, I'm not there, I'm here, come pick me up here. And I'm like, driver doesn't know, right? He doesn't get the surge either. So anyway, I mess around with the app. I came up with this screen. There is no more, look at these. These are all the excuses to cancel. In the old days, the first one, right up the bat, would have been what? Passenger no-show, right?
Yep.
And you click on the fucking thing, and boom, you're gone. I get my $3 or $2.75, whatever the heck it is, or $3.75 to whatever, and then you go on. You move on to the next one. Well, look at all these excuses I can cancel for, except I cannot cancel now for passenger no-show after 5 minutes. So I'm there like an idiot waiting another 2 minutes. This comes up. You click on you have to click now. Can't find the rider. I'm like, no, I found the rider. I'm exactly at the goddamn pin. The rider can't find me because they're playing some games. Then this box shows up. Can't find the rider. To get paid by your rider for waiting, stay near the pickup. Well, I was, that's why I got paid. You'll receive a per minute fee if you complete this trip. I'm like, okay, I completed the trip. I got the $2 per minute wait fee. When you see an alert appear, you'll be eligible for a cancellation fee from your rider. Well, Uber, that you can cancel now, Serge, and go on with your life, did not show up. I was there 7 minutes. I'm like, fuck. And then you have to click on contact the rider or cancel the trip. I'm hoping they're not going the Lyft way, Chris, that you have to call the passenger
yeah.
before you can cancel. You know what I mean? If they go that
Well,
way, I'm going to throw my shit. I'm like,
you know the trick with the Lyft one, right? You know
yeah,
how,
you just
how to
call
get
on
around
the
that,
half
right?
a ring, you hang up. That's it, and then you cancel.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted to say that over the air or not.
Oh hell yeah,
You know,
hell yeah! That's right. You call the passenger. You won't even late. You won't even want to hear the first ring. You call.
Yep.
The dial
You just
tone.
no,
The
basically,
dial
you don't
comes
even
through,
have
hang up.
to. All you got to do is click the button. Once it registers, you click the button.
Yeah,
then it's fine.
Hell yeah, bro. But so look at all these cancellation reasons. Can't find a rider, nowhere to stop. Riders' items don't fit. That's a new one. Too many riders. Okay,
Yep.
These are all the new ones. Look, there's one for unaccompanied minor. Boom.
There
No
was
car
one.
seat. Rider has an animal. You never want to click that. You will get deactivated if you click that one, because then it's between your word and their word that their animal is a service animal, emotional support dog, whatever the fuck it is.
Rider behavior is probably the best one, because if they're in the wrong spot, that's the wrong behavior.
Yeah, that's the wrong fucking behavior. But anyway, I was nice to this guy and then went and picked him up because I wanted to do the first trip. So yeah, these are the things. Now you have to jump through hoops. The cancellation auto cancellation after 5 minutes is not showing up. At least it didn't show up for me. Maybe for other people.
Where's the wrong address?
Yeah, I don't know. That's not
Where'd
there.
that go?
I don't know. Not only that's not there. Passenger no show. Why is it on me? Like, it makes it sound like I'm the idiot. I couldn't find a rider. No.
The GPS. Look. The amount of shit that they track you on, including the sensors within your phone, they know exactly where you are, and so that means if you're there, there should be zero ability to be able to complain against that, because you have all of that information right there. And if somebody calls to complain, I'd be like, look, we have the GPS data that says your driver was specifically there. They waited. You weren't there. Sorry, but they're not going to do that, of course.
Yeah. So click on save that Don one. I'm on Android, Don. You can do it. So all right, let's go to the next one. So yeah, so that was my adventure doing 5 trips and 2 deliveries. And John is here now. We had dinner with John, like I said. And then I caught a nice Uber Eats order going towards my house and paid for the dinner. And that was that. So that was my adventure. So I discovered quite a bit. Yeah. Discovered that Uber is full of shit when it comes to math. How about that? That's what I discovered. There you go.
All right. Thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.